Hi, this is Jojo with another review. And for the sake of this video, I'm going to be discussing the 2017 film 50 Shades Darker. It was a sequel to the 2015 film 50 Shades of Grey. And of course, it also stars Dakota Johnson and I forgot who the other guy who played Christian Grey. But it also stars Kim Basinger and Marsha Gay Horn in brief cameos. And I'll get into that in a minute. Of course, this film, of course, previously I did review 50 Shades of Grey, but I couldn't get through one sitting because that movie was so damn boring. But this time I decided, hey, let's give the sequel a chance. And the sequel didn't get great reviews, and I can understand why. But I made it through the whole. I actually made it through the whole movie because it was a little boring, but I had the plot was slightly better because they have the over the top graphic sex. I mean, it did, but it wasn't scene after scene after scene like in the original movie, which should have gone an X rating, in my opinion, if not at least NC-17 because of its content. This one they toned down the sex scenes a little bit more in the sequel. Because the sequel takes place after the two main characters, Anastasia and Christian Grey, broke up, and Anastasia still thinks about her relationship with Christian Grey, and she now works for a publisher who is a scumbag, and Christian Grey is trying to do what he can to rekindle the relationship he has with Anastasia because he believes he's falling in love with her. Which of course he does, and of course in this movie he declares his love for her. And of course by the end of the movie, major spoiler, he proposes to her and she accepts it. Of course, but the problem I have with this movie is of course, the plot of this movie is kind of like all over the place. The first part of the movie you have like this old girl friend of Grace who is kind of like a stalker. And that could have been an interesting plot if it's carried out through the whole film. Kind of like almost like a movie made for TV movie of the week or something. That plot, which of course she got stalked by Christian Grey and they sent to an insane asylum. That's the end of that plot. And another plot is they run into the woman played with Kim Basinger, which is kind of ironic, and I explain why. Who was the woman who, when Christian was about 15, 16 years old, converted him into a sex pervert. Misogynist or a sadistic sex pervert, who told her how to screw, pretty much. I'm clearing up my language, but I actually used the F word. Christian Gay, she taught me how to fuck. And it's always interesting as fucking as many women, excuse my language, as he can. And she was playing with Kim Basinger. And the reason why it's ironic is that about 31 years ago, that's how long her career has been. I haven't seen Kim Basinger in a movie in I don't know how long. Because of all this crap that's going on between her and Alec Baldwin with the divorce and everything. But anyway, she starred in a movie called 9.5 Weeks, which I previously reviewed. I mean, that was like 50 Shades of Grey before 50 Shades of Grey. It was like my generation's version of it, because there was also a lot of sex scenes, a lot of perversion in that film. So it's kind of ironic that she got a part in the 50 Shades of Grey franchise, or at least in the second film. It was just, when you said ironic, unbelievably ironic. You have Kim Basinger in this film. You also have Marsha Gay Horn, who plays Christian's stepmother, and a doctor, and she's also a doctor as well. And so, of course, Kim Basinger is trying to convince Anastasia not to have a relationship with Christian anymore, because all he's going to do is break your heart. He's not interested in love, he's interested in fucking and all that stuff. That's interested in having the street sex. And perverted sex, with the ankle bracelets and arm bracelets and tying up women and just having sex with them, having a spray with women, and that's it. You're not interested in anything else. But of course, in the course of the movie, that changes. at least the second part of the film. So you have all this stuff going on. Plus, of course, another subplot where Christian Grey is traveling somewhere in a helicopter with his assistant, and the helicopter that he's flying crashes. So, oh my God, he's dead. Meanwhile, they found him alive and well, and he crashed for about 3 seconds, and said, "Oh, they found him alive," which is just crazy, real crazy stuff. In this particular movie, I don't think this movie was, or 50 Shades Darker was not that bad of a film. I kind of like it better than the original film because it wasn't like over the top. We do have a lot of sex scenes in it, and you do see Nicole Johnson naked, which is not a bad thing. Because she is a beautiful girl. She has a nice body and everything else, nice boobs, right? Which anybody can get excited over. Anything any heterosexual man will get excited over. But of course, the other major problem that I have with 50 Shades Darker, this is a major problem. Not just the plot being all over the place, but the major problem that I have with this film is that there's one little scene where one of the other subplots in this film was Anastasia's boss knew of the fact that her boyfriend was Christian Grey. And he says, and it seems like to me that he kind of knows Christian Grey's reputation of being just interested in having sex, and that's it. And so he tries to have sex with her, and she won't have. She beats him up. So Christian Grey, or Christian does, buys the company and fires him, and gets the guy fired, which is a pretty good part of the film where he decides to get this guy fired because of what he did. And so you want him to arrest him, but the charges said no. So okay, I have him fired, and if you want to pursue charges afterwards, it's up to you. But of course, then when Anastasia eventually gets that guy's job, who was hitting on. So what she did was she has a assistant. Now this is the big problem. For anybody who knows what Dakota Johnson is, her mother is Melanie Griffith, and her father is Don Johnson, from Miami Vice fame. Of course, we all know the most famous movie role, or the best role that Melanie Griffith ever had in her career, was being in Working Girl, which came out 29 years ago. Can't believe it's 20. Almost a 30-year-old movie. And there was one scene in there that actually quoted almost line for line the scene at the end of the movie. Now, of course, the scene at the end of the movie is that Melanie Griffith actually gets a regular, and she doesn't get a secretary job. She gets a low ranking job in the company at the end of the film, and Philip Bosco's company in the film. And she talks to the secretary, who turns out to be the secretary, not her boss. Says, "Oh, you expect you to call me Miss McGill?" And he says, "No, I expect you to call me Tess." And and don't get me coffee. And I don't expect you to fetch me coffee unless you get coffee for yourself. And the rest we all make up as we go along. That little scene towards the end of Working Girl, they quoted almost line for line in 50 Shades Darker. When, like I said, when Anastasia gets her former boss's job, she says to the assistant, "Oh, you expect me to call you Miss Steele now?" She's giving Anastasia attitude, and he said, "No, I expect you to call me Anna. And I don't expect you to fetch me coffee unless you get something for yourself. Get coffee for yourself, and the rest we all make up as we go along." That scene is like line for line for the end of Working Girl. And he said, "I can't believe the quote of Working Girl in this movie, almost scene for scene." And what could have made it funnier to line up the mood for the rest of the movie, because the rest of the movie is pretty much very serious, pretty much the whole movie. When the assistant girl says, "Oh, what? Now you're calling Working Girl to me? You're like a weak, not to. You're not calling Melanie Griffith to me, are you?" like a little wink, nod to Dakota Johnson's mother, real life mother. So they could like give like a little nod to the audience or a wink moment, whatever. But the assistant didn't do that. He just like cool. He just went through that little scene. If you think you missed it, and if you never saw Working Girl, you will miss that reference. Remember, I seen the movie so many times. I got it. I said, I can't believe they quote a Working Girl in this thing. And I told my father about that scene. He says, "Nah, you didn't do that." I said, "Yeah, they did. Yeah, they actually did that." And I said, "Oh, you gotta be kidding." I said, "Nope." That's the problem they have with this movie. Well, these are two problems. There's the plot all over the place, and they quote a scene from Working Girl in this movie, kind of like a nudge to Dakota Johnson. 'Cause I don't think Dakota Johnson was even born then when they had when Working Girl came out. I think she's just under 30, so she wasn't even born then when her mother's most famous role ever came out. So for her to quote line for line and to have like a little moment like that, or copy the scene from Working Girl in this film, I think it's kind of like a nice little homage to Dakota Johnson's mother. But to do it like saying, and then saying, so why you think this is Working Girl? If they did that in this movie, then it would make it funny, and it would, lie in the mood. And I think so. It would be fun, it would be great. But of course, you consider the best scene in the end is when Christian Grey proposes to Anastasia and gives her the big ring, and when she, and of course at the end of the movie it looks like there was a guy who was like, I think it might have been the guy who Christian got fired from the publishing company. And it looks like he's staying out of the building where they had Christian's birthday party. Staying out there like this, kind of like stalking. And I think that's probably what the next movie will be. If they're all going to make the third one, because I know that the 50 Shades of Grey book series is only like a 3-book series. So I don't know if they're going to make the third one or not. But it looks like that's where it's going to go, and it should be kept that way. One plot for the whole film, rather than the plot being all over the place like the second movie was. And that's what I think really killed it. The inconsistent plot, and of course the Working Girl reference, which I mentioned. So that's my review of 50 Shades Darker. Please click on the video, please rate it, feel free to comment on it. Please subscribe to my channel, and please forward this video onto your Facebook pages. You can check out all my reviews now on my YouTube channel at rallyc.com. It's all WDY, and then C.com. There's a homepage to the Rally Reviewer, Chris Lee Moore, and please check out all of his videos on his website. Thanks for watching, and catch you next time.